and we welcome you back to the show. The incidents leading to the early exit of a very prominent and promising artist, Mobad, recently has come with a lot of issues, questions, problems, aspersions here and there. The case is not exclusive yet, but we thought that this will be a good opportunity to bring in a legal practitioner, someone who has worked so much, you know, as a lawyer in the entertainment industry, to come give us, you know, his opinion on the importance of the legal input, you know, in the entertainment industry and in the life and operation of an artist. Yeah.
And of course, because the matter is still wide open, you know, we're going to tread softly as we discuss it. Yeah.
Okay, so we have with us in the studio to help us throw more light on that issue, the legal side of the entertainment industry, is a member of the Chartered Institute of Arbitration, United Kingdom, solicitor and advocate of the Supreme Court since 2013, whose core areas of legal practice includes general litigation, arbitration, corporate law, entertainment law, and a few others. He's currently the associate and acting head of Chambers Ayodele, Akitunde and Co. Let's welcome to the studio today a very special guest of the show, Johnson Amechi, who is a lawyer. It's such a pleasure, Johnson Amechi. Johnson Amechi. Oyibo name.
And of course, Johnson, it's time for us to take a peep into what is happening in entertainment as law affects it, or as it affects law. Either way.
It's a privilege to be here.
We want to welcome you to the show.
Thank you very much.
And I think I'd like to take a first dive.
Please go.
Because I was discussing this with somebody recently, and he actually asked a question. He wanted us to clear something, and I'll just read it out.
Okay.
You know, he says, first, we all need to appreciate what the benefits of law itself is in the entertainment industry. Could you shed some light on that?
Okay. Once again, thank you for having me. It's a privilege to be here. As we all know, law is actually the foundation upon which the society itself thrives. And you can't have a working environment without working laws. So that brings us to entertainment. Now, entertainment itself is a body of, it's more like a society where you have creatives, by virtue of their talents and their creativity, they entertain the general society, and in return, they get some form of compensations for their creativity. Now, the essence of law, the role that law plays in that space, is to help put up a more structured environment where every creative can come and your creativity is not just used without you getting any form of compensation, or there is no situation whereby as a creative you just come and you just give your talent and there is no structure or there is no rules and regulation governing that space. So the whole essence of law is to help to provide structure, rules and regulation to make sure that the entertainment society space itself is well managed, and both parties, either as an artist, as an actor, a director, even a record label who is a juristic person, is also well catered for. So the whole essence of law is to ensure that the entertainment space itself is well managed, and everybody that plays a role in that space is well catered for.
Is protected.
Basically protected.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so your profile tells us that you have, or you're versed in this particular area, entertainment law. Share with me, how informed are the stakeholders in entertainment? How informed are they of the importance of this law, of the legal aspects, you know?
Okay, so how well informed they are. I've had the privilege to work with a few of them, and I can say that without mentioning names, I can say that the few I've had the opportunity to be around have gone steps further to acquire that knowledge. So if I'm to place it on a percentage level, to measure it based on percentage, I would say 70%. I would say 70%, even though there's still a lot of work to be done. There's still a lot of education to be done. There's still a lot of making it more viable, making them see the reason why they should acquire more knowledge and be more in tune with the legal aspect as regards the business of the business
knowledge versus making the accessing, that's the word, knowledge versus accessing, you know, that opportunity. How many of them access the opportunity of the legal advantage of entertainment?
Okay, so for those that are well structured, those that are, let's say, record labels that are well structured, they always have a legal department. They always have lawyers employed within the organizations. So assessing it is very easy, very easy, and very open to those people in that space. So for me, I would say that having to have worked with a few of them and having to have also have a lot of my colleagues in that space too, assessing the legal services in the entertainment space is very easy. But it's just, so the problem is the willingness on the part of the creatives, the part of the record label, the part of the managers, of the artists to take the step to see the importance of assessing that aspect in order to fine-tune their creativity and also have it protected by virtue of the provisions of the law.
Let me try and throw you under the bus here. Yeah? Because, you see, we hear of big names, artists, huge names, and of course, that makes them even more vulnerable to all kinds of practices from record labels or what have you. How lucrative, if I want to change my career now and I decide that I want to be an entertainment lawyer, how lucrative is the business?
So the experience varies for each person. And again, geographical location also matters.
Okay.
Now, for instance, Lagos is seen as the entertainment capital of Africa. This is where it all happens. So for an entertainment lawyer within the Lagos metropolis, the revenue and the lucrative part of being an entertainment lawyer will be way higher than somebody that is maybe somewhere up north.
And you are in Lagos,
yeah. So the geographical location also determines that. Okay. So for someone within the Lagos metropolis, you are open to a lot of a better lucrative opportunity. It's more lucrative here in this part of the country than in other parts. Okay. So geographical location matters a lot as regards.
Yeah, I just wanted to know the kind of invoice we'll send to you. At the end of the show.
Right. Okay, so there are so many stories of manipulative contracts, you know, being given to artists here and there. We hear some artists, on the surface, they have blown, you know. They're giving mouth-watering contracts and opportunities, a mansion somewhere here, a salary of XX, so much digits, and all of the beautiful things that we see from the outside. But in the real sense of it, it really doesn't work out that way for the artists. Because from the story of Mohbad, we have heard so many other things happening between recording labels and the artists. As a legal practitioner in this stuff, what experience do you have? How much of these has been opened up to you? And what has the law been able to do in this regard?
Okay, thank you very much. So First and foremost, with the soul of Mohbad rest in perfect peace. And I would also want to use this opportunity to say justice for Mohbad, because it's not justice. He's no longer here with us, but we owe him that. Even if we may not have been able to be there for him in person while he was alive, now that he's no longer here, the least we can do is to ensure justice is done for that young man. So, first and foremost, contract drafting is very key. Okay. Contract drafting is a major thing that plays a significant role within the artist, the record label, and the manager. Now, most times, there are even situations where there are no contracts at all. There are even situations where, when you have the contract, the artist himself doesn't even take time to look through it. Before we came on, I was discussing with Mr. John as regards situations where you have some of these contracts are even given out to the artists when they are highly intoxicated. They don't even know the contents of the contract. Intentionally so. Intentionally so. Because at the end of the day, they sign off so many things without even reading through the lines. And also, their failure to see the need to engage the services of a lawyer to help them in interpreting the contents, because you are an artist. So it's not your job. You may just think it's just the usual. It's not the usual black and white, and that's why for us as lawyers, we see beyond the black and white. We look beyond the intent and purpose of that contract. Now, there have been several cases. I've had situations where close friends had come to me, oh, this is the situation, and it's quite a saddening one where we have artists that are ripped off. In fact, so just not too long ago, we had a situation where the case of Kiss Daniel and his former managers, where they had a back and forth, and he had to end up changing his name to a Z and removing an S. So those are some of the situations, and it's very prevalent in the entertainment industry. And the best way to solve these issues, that is where the entertainment lawyer comes in. So the artist on his own part or on her own part needs to understand the importance of getting the service of an entertainment lawyer, because that is the person that watches over your back. He sees, or she or she sees beyond what you can see, and at the end of the day saves you from that exploitative contract and being in an exploitative situation. So, because at the end of the day, the record label, of course, is a tripartite situation. The artist, the record label, and the manager. So everybody is looking out for themselves. So the glitz and glamour of the entertainment industry most times blindfolds the artists, because the record labels will come with cars, the bling blings, just like we were discussing earlier before, and they lose the focus and take their minds off having a more favorable contract. So the artist needs to understand that the first and the most important thing aside your talent and your creativity is the legal part of the agreement or the contract, because that is what would prevent you finding yourself in a situation whereby at the end of the day you get exploited and you will lose out on so many things. Yes, so basically. Okay,
now without giving out, say, free service, could you, because you've talked about there have to be some things in the, could you just highlight a few things, in a standard contract that a record label and an artist, should carry? Well, give us just 2-3 things.
Okay, so for every standard contract between a record label and artist, or a tripartite, so it can be dual or tripartite. So dual just between the artist and the record label, tripartite the manager, the artist, and the record label. Whichever way it goes, some basic things must be present, like the obligations of the artist, the obligations of the record label, the obligations of the manager, incomes and expenses. Then most importantly, dispute resolution. Because aside being in the entertainment space, I'm also a member of the Challenge of Arbitrators. So most times we advise you settle dispute via mediation or arbitration, which is a faster route to settling dispute. So when those issues arise, because when you are drafting the contract, you need to insert that there. Because being in the entertainment industry, time is of the essence. You can't just go and stay in court over litigation. So it's better for you to settle the matter amicably via mediation or arbitration, which is the faster route to settling disputes. So this element must be present in every standard contract.
Obligations on both sides.
Exactly. And even most importantly, is that I will even have to add duration of the contract.
Duration, yeah.
Because, so if you are signing off whatever with the record label, there should be a duration where after this period and when it expires, they no longer have access to your creative works anymore. Because, for instance, back to Mohbad, there is a current trend in the entertainment space, even outside Nigeria. When an artist dies, they make more money than when they were alive. So, as at this morning, while on my way here, I just ran through a few of the streaming platforms. So I'll just speak to Apple Music. Now, Apple Music Top 100, as at this morning, on the top 100 songs in the whole of Nigeria, Mohbad has 7 songs in top 30, which is the very first. Even while he was alive, he never had that. He has 7 songs in the top 30. Now, he's making more money than he was making while he was alive. Now, what happens to that resources? Who is managing that? Where does it go to? Who gets the streaming income?
All of
so
that
those things has to be in the contract. So we don't even know if there was a valid contract either between when he was in Malian music or even when he left Malian music to start immunization, which is his own personal. In fact, I had to even do a quick check with the Corporate Affairs Commission, and I saw that the immunization, that is Mohbad's personal record label before he passed on, has just him as the single director and the only shareholder.
Oh, Lord.
So now, it now behoves on the administrators of his estate. We don't know if there's even any arrangement as to that. So this is the importance of having a very well-structured and well-drafted contract, because it caters to all these things.
Very important.
Very important.
Very important, yes.
Wow.
Obviously.
We are talking about the entertainment industry and the law, the legal aspect. You know, like it started, it's everybody. I have been beaten a couple of times, you know, because we really don't think through, you know, the importance. When you start on a venture, you do not see trouble ahead.
Exactly.
You just don't see trouble ahead. You just want to get into it and do whatever that you need to do. But then there's always, you know, hiccups here and there. And getting the legal backing is a preparation for that doomsday, if I can use that word. It's still today with John and Helen. We'll take a quick break. Our guest is still here. When we come back, we shall be winding up this conversation with him. Please stay with us. A very big thanks to you for staying tuned, and a very, very big thank you to Dolly Phillips, you know, for taking us through those exercise routine. It's still today with John and Helen live, coming to you from the studios of PlusTvAfrica here in Lagos, Victoria Island, Nigeria. And our guest is still here, helping us to understand the benefits that are inherent in employing the services of a legal practitioner, even as an artist or in any business venture that you go in. We have just a few minutes to go. By the way, thank you for your patience. I'd like to know, you know, the worst that can happen. What can go wrong for an artist or the creatives if they overlook investing in the legal side of their craft? What's the worst scenario?
Okay, so the Nigerian entertainment industry contributes between 1.5 to 2.3% to Nigeria's GDP at the moment. The entertainment industry in Nigeria is the biggest in Africa. In fact, Nollywood is a part of the entertainment industry.
True.
Nollywood is the second largest movie industry in the entire world, just after Hollywood, and the first in Africa. Now, it is projected that by 2025, Nollywood would be valued at over $50 billion US. Now, that is how enormous that space is. So, anybody that is in that space can't afford to lose out. Now, just before we came back on, you were talking about the 50 cents in one of his interviews, where he said the amount of money he spends on service of lawyers. That's to show you how important it is. The lawyer plays a very significant role in the success or otherwise of an artist. In fact, a creative, because the entertainment space now has grown wider than it was before. So we have the movie industry, we have the music industry. Now we even have comedians and skit makers.
Sure.
So it has now expanded. So that's to show you the enormous amount of resources and finance in that space. So the worst that can happen to an artist or a creative that neglects to bring a legal practitioner on board on his side. First, loss of income. Secondly, unprotected rights, because your rights and your creativity as a creative matters a lot. So, of course, what protects you and your earnings is that lawyer beside you. So you cannot, in fact, a creative and a lawyer are 5 and 6. So you need that lawyer right by your side to help you channel through that part. In you, how far you can go as a creative is dependent on how good your lawyer is.
Wow.
Helen.
Wow,
So you hear that?
I hear.
I hope you have a lawyer.
Well, am I not?
So I really want to give an instance. So for someone like Davido, so there is, if you look at Davido's videos most times when he's on the street, there's somebody that is always beside him. That's his lawyer. I wouldn't want to mention names, but that is how important your lawyer is to you, because in that space is a very volatile environment. Absolutely. Very volatile.
Could it be that the cost of hiring a legal practitioner, you know, it's probably one of the things that discourages, especially the younger ones, the ones who haven't arrived, if I'm using the word. Could it be, how expensive is it to keep, like, in this environment? Okay,
so very well. The fact remains that you can never actually pay a lawyer what he's worth. And that's the fact. Now, yes, I agree. The cost of hiring a lawyer can be on the high side. But so there are various options that are open to you. So for those of us in the legal space, we have younger lawyers, we have those that are a little bit above the younger lawyers, and we have those ones that are at the top tier, the senior advocates and the very senior lawyers. So for those younger lawyers that are maybe within 1 to 5 post call, you could easily get someone within that space, right? But even be that as it may, there is no amount that is too much to pay a lawyer as an artist. Why? Because that person that is the lawyer right beside you is the person that determines how far you would go and the amount of money. That money, so it's better
you're going to make.
So most times what they do is they play the role of penny wise, pound foolish. So you rather go and spend that money on bling blings and luxury cars as against paying for the service of a lawyer that would have actually had done you better or more good.
Okay, so that in fact, you've said it all. And the bottom line is that ignorance is no excuse.
It's very expensive.
And like they say, knowledge
is quite expensive.
It's power.
And very expensive.
As well, very expensive. So I mean, it would be wise for us to do the right thing. That is, get a lawyer, get legal backing, not just for the sake of for. You need to protect yourself.
And from the very beginning, get the services of a legal practitioner and work on the terms.
Exactly.
You know, like you said, there are various terms that are available, for them at different levels.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We have learned so much from you today. I have, John.
I have. I have.
Okay.
Johnson and Michi, expect my brief.
No problem, sir. No problem. And I also want to say Happy Independence Day to Nigerians.
Yeah.
Nigeria is a great nation. We believe in this country. Would definitely get to that point where I'm proud to be a Nigerian anywhere I go to. And I'm blessed to be a Nigerian. And
we all are.
As we celebrate our independence in a few days, we pray that this nation would be better than it has always been. God bless Nigeria.
This is a season of celebration, John.
Yeah, that's right.
This is a season.
So happy independence to Nigerians. Well,
your nugget?
My nugget.
Very quickly?
Yes, my nugget very quickly. And today the nugget is this. character is who you are when no one is looking.
Okay.
Character is who you are when no one is looking. Right? Because most of the time, we all want to be who we are not.
Okay.
We want to ape our role models or whoever, but that's not us. The real us is that person who, when nobody is looking, is the authentic you, in other words.
Yeah.
So we're talking about authenticity, yeah.
Okay.
Right? So your authentic you is that you that nobody sees, you know, when you're in the corner.
Wow.
So that is the nugget for today. And I see you're still thinking about
I'm
it.
still thinking about it. It's very deep.
Very
because
deep.
I'm asking me, do I know me?
That's the real you.
The character me, do I even know it?
Yeah, that's the real you.
You know?
When nobody is looking, that is the real you.
Okay. Thank you, John.
So that would
and
be it.
Thank you. That's the size of our package for today. We do wish you the very best. We wish Nigeria the very best. We hope that we will make progress from this point individually and collectively. And we'll see you again same time next week for another edition of the program. Don't forget that every week this show is live on Saturday and played back on Saturday night 10:30 and Sunday morning 9:30. Thank you for watching. John,
Thank you, and see you again next week.
Bye now.